What up, what up, what up? This is Merrick representing Hustlenomics, LLC. And you know what I'm going to talk to y'all today about? Ooh, my collar's a little popped up. Let me pop my collar back down. I'm going to talk to y'all today about burring rental properties. So, what is the BRRRR strategy? The BRRRR strategy is buying, rehabbing a property. Then you're going to repair the property. After you repair the property, you're going to refinance it. You're going to get that money that you refinance out. And you know what you're going to do with it? You're going to use it to buy yourself another rental property or use it as a down payment on a retail-ready rent property, right? So, what me and my partners are doing right now, we're working with hard money lenders who do the BRRRR, who practice the refinance or have that option available to us so that we can buy distressed properties, and then we're going to rehab it, and then we're going to pull the equity out. Or, as I've done for my last 4 deals, we'll just put down 20%, and then we'll pull out, and then we'll just rent it. It'll just be turnkey. There won't be equity in the deal, which is not as good as a BRRRR, but to be fair, a BRRRR is challenging because you have to be able to buy a property at such a substantial discount that you can perform that strategy. So it's way more optimal than buying a property 20% down, because you're literally just throwing 20%. If it's a $100,000 property, you're literally putting $20K into the property plus closing costs, and you're saying, okay, I'm gonna sit on it for 3 to 5 years, let the property appreciate, and let the tenants pay down the rest of my mortgage before I sell and get this 20K back. So that your 20K is just sitting there, plump, just right there for years. But if you buy and you perform the BRRRR strategy, and let's say you put $10,000 into a deal, then you could literally refinance out, and you could refinance out 20K. That refinance 20K you could use as a down payment. There's a greater velocity of money. That means your money's not just sitting in one property for such a long amount of time, which is superior, right? Most people would say that's superior. Now, what I'm trying to do is we're trying to really build up our portfolio. So we're either going to do turnkey or we're going to do BRRRRs. BRRRRs, again, it's challenging. It's way more easier to buy a turnkey property. There's way more properties on the market that are just retail ready that you can just buy and throw a tenant in there. And of course, you don't want to just throw any kind of tenant. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but you want to buy it. You want to get a tenant that makes 3 times the monthly rent, has a credit score over 600, and you want to make sure that tenant has no evictions ever. You want to be really strict when you put a tenant into a property. Why? Because tenants are the lifeblood of your rental property. If you have a bad tenant in there, then you might as well have not even bought the rental property. You basically just wasted your time, because a bad tenant is going to make your life a living nightmare. A good tenant, you're going to forget you even own the house, and money's just going to hit your bank account like every single month. Money just hit my bank account. I have a whole bunch of good tenants. Money, bow, hit the bank account. Bow, it hits the bank account. And I thank God for those tenants. But then I have some nightmare tenants who think just because they pay rent, they're like, well, I paid you rent, so I need you to do X, Y, Z. I need you to come here. I need you to do da, 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 da. And you're wondering, man, when does your lease end? I swear to God. Now, but back to what I was talking about. Guys, you want to perform the BRRRR strategy as a rental property owner, landlord, whatever you want to call it. You want to perform the BRRRR strategy because that helps you buy more properties quicker. Because I want you to think about this. Put your thinking cap on. Think. If you only have 1 or 2 rental properties and they're single families, you know what that means? If one property, God forbid, has a vacancy, that means you only have 1 other property and your day job to float you. That's a very dangerous situation. But if you have 10 rental properties and one rental property is vacant, that means you have 9 other workers to float you. Every single property is a worker, an oil mill that puts money into your pocket consistently every single month on schedule. So you need to be able to buy as many as possible so that it makes your life easier. That's a strategy that I follow. I'm a buy and hold investor. That's my bread and butter. That's what I like to do. If you're a house flipper, do as you see fit. But the thing is, if you flip 20 houses, and let's say you make $300,000 that year, great. But what happens when the market goes down and you can't sell houses anymore? I think every single person should get 1 or 2 rental properties minimum into their portfolio. It's not complicated. Anyone can become a landlord. There's definitely a learning curve, but anyone can do it. But back to the matter at hand, we're talking about burring. Guys, buy a property that's distressed, fix it up, refinance it. If you can't get equity out and you have to put more money into it, cool. You learned something. You learned how to rehab a property. So that's a pro. As long as you don't buy so high that you lose the property, which you shouldn't, you should really have a realtor help you out, then you'll be okay. It's a strategy that everyone should employ. Every landlord should employ this strategy. Now, all right, this is Merrick, represent Hustlenomics. I'm signing out. Peace.